Welcome back. So I have the broth right now really coming to a full boil. And it was about between 5 and 8 minutes to really get it there. And we want to get the mise en place, the carrots, the celery, the garlic, the onion to be very soft so that when we're adding in everything and once we're eating it, it's not something that's chewy. So that's coming there along. But what I did in the meantime was I also kind of made my bread. And what we want with this, because this is dipping broth, let me tell you, you're gonna love it. So something a little crunchy, toast it up, you can grill it. I broiled it, but the summer I love to put this out on the grill. Just cut your bread real thin, add your olive oil, grill it, and it's gonna be fabulous. So with the cocktail that we're gonna talk about is we've got seafood, lemon, thinking lemon. So a lemon drop, or even better, what we do at the Gamberetti's is your limoncello drop. So adding limoncello to it is fabulous. And for those that don't want to drink, or I'm not drinking today, or I've got to work or anything like that, again, I'm gonna go back and I've done these before, is the San Pellegrino limoncello or limonata. Fabulous, nice and lemony. Put it on ice, garnish it. It's going to be looking like I'm being spoiled and having a nice cocktail. Okay, so as this is going to a full boil, I have clams. I have the prawns that we've deveined, and remember, you take the back part out, make sure you get the poopies out. Then I have lobster, and what I did today was the same thing. I cut it out, but I put this bite size. Now you can leave it in like a half tail and garnish it on the top, and that's what we do at the restaurant. That one's gonna go in with the clams, but if you're going to do it in bite size, we're gonna do it with the fish and the shrimp because it's not gonna take as long. And I didn't get scallops, but instead I have a white fish, and I believe this one is, right now it looks like a halibut. So we've got different seafoods that you can put in, and I've talked about that a little bit on what's available. I didn't find any of the crab. My husband's gonna go out on Friday to go hopefully get some fresh crab, but it was a little too spendy for what I wanted to do for today. So I didn't have the fresh crab, but you're gonna put that in. Crab's gonna go in when you put your clams if you leave it in the shell. If it's out of the shell, you're gonna put it in at the very last because it's going to cook really fast. Clams, to prep beforehand, I have a little secret, and it was a fishmonger that when I was at one of the restaurants, way back when I was probably young, I think 19, 20, he taught me how to put these in a little bit of water and putting in a little bit of cornmeal. And when you put them in with the cornmeal, what they do is they're used to rooting around in the sand and looking for food. They think it's food. They take the cornmeal and spit out the sand. So then your clams won't be as sandy. So we're gonna do that. Now, one of the things I'm gonna do before I'm gonna put the clams in, I have a little bit of fresh basil already prepped. We have it here. And then I also have some cilantro already prepped. You can use one, the other, both, or neither. So this is kind of your preference, but I'm gonna add a little bit to kind of get the flavor in there, and then I'm gonna use a lot of it to garnish because to me it just really brings the whole thing together. So I'm adding a little bit of basil, I'm adding some of the cilantro, and then I'm gonna put the clams in, and we're gonna put these in first, and we're going to layer. I don't want to put the other seafood in yet because the clams are going to be about an 8 minute. The seafood's going to be about a 5. So we want to put this in. Okay, and that's going to, that broth is in there, and it's almost like when you're going to steam your clams. I'm going to get them all flat and even. I'm going to put this on because I'm wanting to steam it. I'm going to give us a few minutes while we're going to talk about a few more things, and then I'm going to get the rest of the seafood in. Then once we put the seafood in, that's it. That's how simple it is to make this dish, and you're going to love it. It is, like I said, it's my go-to for something that I've got to do for a large group. I want to do it fast. I want it to be spectacular, this is great. And it's also the option, a lot of my girlfriends that come to the restaurant and it's like, I don't want to eat gluten, I don't want carbs. I have the dish for you. This is a dish that is healthy, it's got flavor, and you will start to crave it and you're going to want it. And again, we can add, you can change it. It's very playful. You're going to have a lot of fun. So we're kind of getting those clams going right now. We talked about the cocktails. We talked about what we're doing. We talked about the bread. And then what I did is, you know, I'm not a great baker. I love to cook, like to do things. So I just bought some pre-done cookies, but they're lemon. So we're adding with that. And then, you know, we're drinking Pinot. So guess what's gonna go with Pinot? Dark chocolate. This has got a little caramel in it. So easy peasy, but we're adding just a little nice finishing touch to the meal. So when we're entertaining. Okay, we've got those clams starting. They're gonna be, ooh, that's got a nice boil. That's hot, it's steaming. Okay, I'm gonna put the prawns in. We got prawns going in. We got the fish or scallops, whatever you've got there. That's gonna go in. And then we've got the lobster going in. All right, I'm gonna give it a good stir. Yes, I do have pets. I have puppy duppies. That little, thought it was a knock, but that was just me. Okay, now it looks full. It's like pulling this out and garnishing. It's going to be great. I'm going to put the lid back in because again, this seafood, kind of a boil steam is what we're doing to get it to cook, but it's cooking in also all that flavor from the clamato. So that's going to be really fun. I've pulled out some shallow bowls to plate up. And what I'm going to usually do is I'm going to pull out the seafood first, like the clams, or if you're using mussels, I'm going to kind of layer those around, and then I'm going to take the ladle and ladle it in, and then we're going to add a little bit of the garnish on it. So that's kind of how we're going to plate up, how we're going to do it. Let me kind of take a peek. Okay, so the shrimp right now is a little translucent. I'm going to give it a stir, and that's going to be our indication of when it's ready. Really pay attention. Don't let this go too long, because that's the one thing that we tend to do with seafood is to overcook it. When you overcook it, that's where you get that really rubbery flavor. It's seconds. It really is that short of time. This is a hot broth. Go ahead, and if you think they're done, or you know, pull one, taste it, but pull it off the heat, because your broth is already hot. It's going to continue to cook in it. So you don't want to, like I said, overcook seafood. You don't want the rubber. We want it to be really nice and fresh and kind of going there. All right, let's, okay, my clams are open. And that's a piece of lobster. The clam, he snuck out, so somebody's gonna get a piece of that one. I'm gonna taste this. Okay, we're done. That quick, that wonderful. So let me plate it up for you as I'm eating. So like I said, so each person can get a little bit of the clams. I'm gonna put those in there. Okay. And once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and grab my ladle and get them a really nice, oh yes, this is so, okay. A little more seafood in there for them. Now, just because, you know, we've got a restaurant, but you don't always have to do that. I'm going to grab a little bit of a paper towel. I'm going to clean that edge off for you. going to, again, we've already have some in, but we're gonna add it to the top. We're gonna do a little bit there. And how amazing is that dish for you to serve for your guests? It's beautiful, but the flavor is going to be even better. Add a crostini, add your cookies, put it on a plate. That's going to be a great dish. So have a wonderful Valentine's. Hey, Super Bowl, seafood. We're looking at the 49ers. Make this. What a fun, different dish. Oh, we don't have the, what do you call them, pigs in a blanket or something? We got Cioppino. We're coming from San Francisco. We know what we're doing. We're the 49ers. So anyways, have a great Super Bowl weekend. Have a wonderful Valentine's. If you're seeing this video after, I will be back in March, and we'll probably, I think I'm looking at, I've been suggested to do the carbonara. So a little bit of the comfort food. We've got a little bit of pancetta, or we can use the prosciutto, and using some sweet peas. So really some fun kind of options there. So see you soon. Looking forward to it. Bye for now.